The school's sports programme has very limited effect on the school which I'm doing work experience at Christ King, due to the fact it's such a small school, very limited year groups, and they have a very small PE department which consists of only 2 staff, I believe. As well as this, school sports is virtually anything extracurricular. Outside the curriculum that can be done out of school hours, such as just after school maybe, before school in fact as well, if they have the time, and out of hours learning. That involves physical activity, so if it was an after school football club, which I do on a Thursday now, been moved from a Wednesday due to the weather increasing, it's on a Thursday after school now. It forms a vital link, school sport forms a vital link with different community sports. However, at this school it has very limited, due to the fact its resources are limited due to it being such a small school. It's in fact a school that, when it's applying for funding from the government, it doesn't get it automatic. It's talking to PE staff, PE teacher Mr. Jackson, who was telling me that the maths department get more funding than the PE department at that school, and it's very limited, roughly around about £2,000 a year, maybe a little bit less, a bit more. Well, he used as an example, he said, for sports day, at the end of every academic year, they spend £500 on trophies and medals, so that would be a quarter of the budget gone already. Hiring for coaches for competitions and minibuses. They've outright bought their buses now to try and save money and be more effective with what they've got. To enter competitions, they have to spend a lot more money. If the sports day, it's £500. There was another event he was telling me about. I can't quite remember what it was, but it was another £500 as well for stuff from that. For equipment, for the medals for that as well. The actual department is very small, and the resources they've got, some of the equipment they've got, it's not outdated, but it's starting to sort of decay, like the goals are starting to break apart a little bit. It's very limited as to what it does. For that, as well as it's quite in near a deprived area. The school itself is quite good. It's quite nice. The children have trouble being motivated, and a lot of them don't have the financial backing outside of school to take part in other sports clubs like football. Only a little amount play actual football outside of the school, as the rest of them don't have the financial backing of their parents, for example, or grandparents, to be able to take part and have the equipment, pay sign-on fees for outside of school clubs. Although there are quite a lot going on, but a lot of them don't. And plus, it's about half an hour from the city centre. Walk anyway from the city centre for them. So it'll be quite a while for them to get there, and it's sort of out of range for them. It has the school sport programme there has limited potential in where it can develop, just due to the size of the school, it being very small, and the number of staff as well that can carry out, as they've only got 2 PE members of staff they'll be doing it 7 days a week, and they'll be doing sport that they might find out of their depth or they may have trouble with, but they are capable of doing it, and it can be done. As well as that, the school sports programme isn't very influential there. They have very limited after school activities. They struggle to get a football team going every year for every year group. As for the football training sessions, they have about 20 showing up every week, and that will be roughly about a whole year. As the years, there's only 24 students per year, I believe he told me. And it's a very small school, so they struggle to get a sports team together. And sport is something that's not massively emphasised there, but they still do it every week. It's in the curriculum. They have double P lesson once a week, and aside from that, it's one that they're looking at getting more involved in, as the teachers, the staff can see the benefits, and the students enjoy it. It's a nice little way to chill out. They see it more as more of like fun, because it's the students' time that they're donating, especially now that it's after school, much rather than being in lunchtime when it's in school hours, and they have it a bit more chilled out, much rather than drill now. Just for the students, just to more or less enjoy. The way that would be ideal for staff to, well, would be good to be a PE teacher there, is, from their perspective, is having an understanding of all the children's needs, look at their abilities, seeing it's not great, but being to acclimatise to that, and as well, because it could be year 10s with year 7s, and the year 7 could be better than the year 10, yet the year 10 may feel a bit demoralised that they're being compared or matched up, and in doing this, they see it as a good skill to be able to deal with these scenarios and like have them all together, perform the lessons, and really just keep them going and keep them motivated throughout. Especially when they have like little temper tantrums. They are about, like, some of them are about 15, maybe a bit younger, between about 12, 15. And if they do throw a bit of a paddy because everything's not going their way, it's a different way of that I'm used to dealing with in terms of dealing with conflict. As what I'm used to is primary schools, and when you're delivering a session, you want to be delivering the content that you would be for a primary school, but you want to be delivering it actually differently, like the language you could be using, the way you talk to them, your body shape, and just the way you actually, the terminology you use as well. In terms of that as well, like key skills, organisation is quite a big one. Being able to put in the effort to get stuff out of it. Like, for example, Mr. Jackson, PE teacher there, every time he wants a bit more extra funding for a competition, for example, he has to fill out some forms that take about 2 hours to do and send it off to the government to try and approve for some funding. And this is something that is quite effective there, as it's quite motivating to the children to see that he's there, like, fighting their corner. Even though they see very little of it, but he's there on putting in the effort for them. He's got a good link with them, quite a laid back, chilled out sort of approach with them, like quite friendly, much rather than I'm the teacher, this is how it is. But this may be only due to me seeing it on an extracurricular basis and at lunchtime when it's not in lesson. But I believe the way he approaches them and what would be effective is for them to see him as a friend first, teacher second, and if that was the same for me as well, for them to see me as a friend first, teacher second, so they know if they had troubles they could come up to me and approach me, and they know I'd be able to help try and do my best and solve these problems. Yeah.